What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my review of this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. Overall, I love this week's episode. This was amazing. We went back with my man, Rohan, who, of course, you guys know is voiced by Vic Mignogna. There was this one line around the middle of the episode that hit way too close to home. And I know this wasn't done on purpose. I assume the whole series was recorded far in advance. Like, you know, they probably got through it, like, right after they were done filming part 3. They probably got started working on recording this. I don't know when this episode was recorded, but oh, that scene midway through the episode with Rohan was perfection, man. And looks like I am right. When my theory I had a couple weeks last, where I said Kira was going to take a backseat. We're going back to the Monster of the Week formula, because that's what happened. Because Kira was like not in the episode. He was not in there much, and it was just about this guy. There was no Kira, so I think this is what we're going to do. They were probably going to keep Kira on the sidelines, keep him out of the picture, and then maybe once, because we still have to say the second OP. They're still using the second OP. They haven't switched over to the third one yet, which I'm assuming that might be coming out later on, maybe in a couple episodes or so. But yeah, overall love this week's episode. So with enough jibba jabba, let's get into this week's episode. Yeesh. So we start this episode off. Rohan, he's taking photos of a bunch of people on the train station. He's then met by our boy, Joseph Joestar. He's like, what are you doing? I am taking photos of office workers on their morning commute. Because he's looking for Kira, and as we know, he changed fate, but because since he's an office worker, he would of course come here. And then he opens up this like little photo album and stuff, and if you look down, you can actually see Kira in there too if you look hard enough. He's like around the bottom of it. If you guys didn't see it, he's like around the bottom of the page, which is another cool. And also, his hair looks a lot better here, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was like the last episode was when Dave Production didn't really know what they were doing with his hair. But that photo there looks a lot better with Kira's hair. It looks a lot better. So, oh man. He's like, wait, how do you know he would be here? He could very easily just drive by a car. Yes, but he would probably fall into old habits. There's got to be a chance that his clever family have already realized that something's amiss. What I fear is them finding out and he ends up killing them. I need to stop him before that happens. We need to find him. And he's like, and don't you think and he's like, he wants to just, find him. That's why he's probably gonna fall into these old habits. He's like, and you don't think I've gone soft, but I want to take care of Kira before he kills someone else. So he's like, okay. And Joseph, by the way, is also holding the baby as well. So Joseph's about to go on their leave along with Rohan, because they got the photos. Rohan's got about done. Then this kid pops up and is like, hey, you two tall guys, play Rochambeau with me. And at first I was like, what the hell is Rochambeau? But as the episode goes on, you realize Rochambeau is just Japanese rock, paper, scissors. By that I mean it's just Japanese with a name. Now, one thing that was getting to kind of scratch my head a little bit is, why do they call it Rochambeau in the English dub too, rather than just rock, paper, scissors? Because that's exactly what it is, rock, paper, scissors. I think now I'm just going to assume that the only reason why it's still Rochambeau in both the dub and the sub, and not rock, paper, scissors, is probably just to keep up with the mouth flaps and make it easier on the guys over at Viz and of course Vic Mignogna. So I'm assuming it has something to do with just keeping up with the mouth flaps rather than just saying it in English. In Stardust Crusaders, Dio's English voice actor is still saying Muda, which is Japanese for useless. He's still saying the Muda. Hell, he even says it faster than the Japanese one does. So, yeah, whatever. Which I swear the only reason they kept that in there was because of the memes. They were like, Muda. Like, I swear that's the only reason they kept it there was because of the glorious memes that have spawned from Muda. I swear that's the only reason. Anyway. So they go on their leave, and the kids are like, hey, play Rochambeau with me. And it's like, what an oddball. Well, and then they just go on their leave. Well, I guess every train station has a nut job or two. And so they go on their leave, and while they're walking down, they go into the Joseph goes in the cab. Rohan and the kid comes back to Rohan. He's like, "Play Rochambeau with me. You're that manga artist, right? You stopped drawing for a while. I'm a big fan of Shonen Jumps." And I just couldn't help when I heard Shonen Jump, I couldn't help but start laughing. So self-aware humor, that seeing Shonen Jump as a name drop was pretty funny. At least to me, I kind of laughed a little bit at that. So he's like, "Yo, play Rochambeau, man. Play Rochambeau, man." He's like, and then he just walks away. Then the dude throws a soccer ball. Oh, actually, no. How could I forget? That's at the start. I almost forgot about the actual opening. So we start the episode off actually with Kira's dad. He's still running around. He doesn't have the bird with him anymore. He's just literally floating in the air. I'm assuming by the arrow. And he goes on how he obtained it. It was from when he took a trip to Evia. He met Nyaba. She gave him the bow, and she told her how it works. With give it to whoever the bow desires, and they'll become standards. And so he's like, all right, Arrow, pick your new subject for my new army, because I want to create a new army so that these guys can take care of Jotaro and his army of hitmen, so that because they're coming over his dear Yoshikage. So I think Kira's dad's probably going to be like, he's going to fill Kira's role as being like, he's going to be a mainstay, he's going to be a deep part of it. And I think that what this little arc that starts up before we get right back to Kira will be when he defeated them, we'll move right back to Kira. I hope that's the case, because I want to see more Kira, because I love Kira. So anyway, so he finds this arrow and it leads him to this little kid. This kid that I say looks like a Polnareff knockoff. Like, this dude dresses like Polnareff, same colored hair as Polnareff. He's like a younger, poor man's Polnareff. That's it, because he dresses like him, has a similar hairstyle. Well, it's not similar. Polnareff's hair was saying it's more like normal hair with this kid, but it's the same color as Polnareff. So I was like, who the hell is this Polnareff knockoff when I first saw him? So with that out of the way, let's get back to where it was. So he throws a soccer ball at Rohan. He's like, "Heaven's Door! Shut this brat up!" And so he uses Heaven's Door. And then he kind of looks through his pages. And he's like, okay, his name is Kevin. He is age 11. And he also knows that hole in his chest. And he says, it's so deep it probably goes through his mouth, which it does. For a second there, you would actually see his tongue move through the hole. So yeah, that was kind of disgusting too, a little bit. So he looks through the pages. He says, okay, got the hole from an accident. And then the captain was like, "Hey man, you getting a drive or what?" He's like, "Oh, can we trouble you for 30 more seconds?" And he closes his pages back up. His face is back to normal. And he says, "I play you once, if I win, you leave me alone. Got it?" And he says, "Rochambeau." And I believe it was paper scissors. No. I think it was. Well, I forget which ones they were using. I think Rohan won with paper. I think. I could be wrong on that one. I don't know. So anyway, but Rohan wins, and then he gets to the cab, and he gets out, and he leaves. So and then the dude's like, "Damn it! How could I lose?" Rochambeau was crying. And then we get to the best part of the episode for me. So we're in this cafe. He's drawing the cafe after he's done. He's about to go take a seat. He's then met up with Josuke, Okuyasu, and surprisingly, what was her name? Yukiko. That's it. Yukiko. And he meets Yukiko, and I swear this dude had me dying, bro. So he says, "Oh, great. Great. A self-absorbed jerk-off, a moron, and a bitch. Three people have absolutely nothing in common." And I tell you, I laughed so hard at this scene. Because as you guys know, Vic's in some hot water, or better yet, Funimation's in some hot water, because of what they're trying to do to our boy Vic. Jamie March And I laughed so hard because I could just literally, I know this was not what the line meant, and I know he didn't mean any like alternate means unless this was episode was recorded while all that shit was going down. Even then, Vic isn't really, it seems like the type of guy that really holds a grudge or really has a real hatred towards people. Because you know, if you've seen his tweets, his responses he's made, he's always been very apologetic. He's never been like, oh, fuck you, Sean Schimmel, fuck you, Monica Rial. He's always been a very apologetic. He ain't firing shots like Sean Schimmel and Jamie Marshall. Well, they're over there firing shots like they got their chickens with their heads cut off. So you can make and I swear, I feel like I'm probably gonna end up making a meme of this, and I'll post it on my Twitter. And so I will probably use the 3 that most people want me to use. It's because I don't want to risk getting blocked by these, because I don't want to get risk getting blocked by Monica Rial or shots, just because I have too much respect to them and I would like to follow their work. But you know, got some thin ice on right there when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I mean, I'll still do the meme, but I'll probably use voice actors I just don't care about if I get blocked by them or not. So, you know, keep tabs on my Twitter. I might even post it on my YouTube, too. Anyway. That had me dying there. And so then he's like, oh no, I'm still working. Because I said, hey man, you done with work, why don't you come join us? And so then he's about to go into his seat. And then Mr. Polnareff knockoff himself, Ken, steals his seat while drinking some orange juice, and actually the liquid comes out of his, like, the hole he has there. And he's like, oh shit, and he tries to close it up. And he's like, beat me in another game of Rochambeau again? He's like, yeah, beat me in Rochambeau. And then he's like, no. And then the dude throws a tantrum, starts crying, and then you got Josuke, Okuyasu, and Yukiko all against the. I was like, hey, come on, man, why don't you listen? Why don't you come a break? He is just a kid after all. And he's like, yeah, you're supposed to be the mature one. And so, and then he says, fine, I'll play a game of Rochambeau for the chair. And so they do it. Rock, paper, scissors. Rohan wins again. And he just rubs his face like, whoa! I've never been so happy to win a game of Rochambeau in my entire life. And he starts rubbing it in his face like, I've been so happy, you know, all that stuff. And the look on Josuke Nokuyasu's face was priceless. They were like, really? You call this mature? Perfection. It's like, there's nothing like being someone self-centered at their own game. Okay, it wasn't that exact phrase, I forget the exact way he said, but it was like, it's nothing like being someone at their own game, man. That was pretty much what he said. That was just hilarious. He's like, damn it, I lost again. And so then we see Rohan in a bookstore. So he's looking through this book. There's actually a book about flowers, and he said smug wince. I think he said smug wince. I think it was like one long. He said smug something, and then see with the coffee shop. And I love the music that was playing when he just sits and how he sits in the chair. He's like, oh, you got nothing to say, huh? That scene is priceless, man. It's probably one of my favorite Rohan moments. Anyway. So he's in the bookstore. He looks at the price of it on the back. It's 7,500 yen, I believe the number was. I could be a little bit. It was 75 something. I think it was 7,500. And he's like, do I even have that much? Looks through his wallet, and then the kid comes back and steals the book. He's like, hey man, you were buying this book, huh? And he's like, come on, let's sell this Rochambeau style. So they play another game of rock, paper, scissors, Rochambeau. I don't know if I should call it rock, paper, scissors, or rock, paper, scissors. So then he's like, shit, and then Rohan sort of just punches the kid, sends him, he just straight up punches him. He's like, you messed with the wrong guy, this punk. And then we see he's like, ha, I win, because he used paper when Rohan was using rock. As we know, paper beats rock in rock, paper, scissors. So, and then we then see the hole in his cheek really start blowing, like sucking in this air, which ends up leading to actually ends up taking part of Rohan's stand. It was his right arm. And so it takes that part. So then we find out this kid is indeed a stand user with the hole he has, and we have to see his stand overall has a pretty cool design, honestly. It looks pretty cool. So he so then he says, quickly, heaven's door, turn this brat into a book. And so he does. He opens his page and writes, I will not attack Rohan Kishibe, and he gets sent flying outside, hits a pole. Here, Rohan comes back, looks through his page. We find out that he only recently became a stand user, as we learned from the air. We even see Kira's dad just hanging behind that light post, just kind of like chilling there, watch fight. But for some reason, nobody notices him. Nobody notices the photo. I don't know why, but whatever. I guess they just weren't paying attention. I guess. So Rohan looks through his page. We found that he recently became a stand user, and that his life goal is to beat the great Rohan Kishibe, because he goes on about how rock paper scissors is the game of chance. So if I can beat him, I will surpass him, and therefore I will be as respected as the great Rohan Kishibe. He just wants to beat him. He wants to surpass him. He wants to surpass him one day. But instead of being a manga artist, he just wants to do it with rock paper scissors. For some reason, but I guess the kid can't draw or whatever. So anyway, then we notice that the page where he writes, I will not attack Rohan Kishibe, actually switches to I can attack Rohan Kishibe. And he's like, wait, what? He checks his eyes first, rubs his eyes, and then it still says it. So then he gets up, he's like, oh, you thought, now that you got 1/3 of your stand, you can't look at me, you can't mess around me like that no more. And so then his face puts back in the place, and he's like, and then we find out that he has to do 5, and we also find out that he has to, for him to take that power of the stand, there has to be 5 games of Rochambeau. And if he ends up winning 4 out of the 5 or 3 out of the 5, he of course ends up winning the whole thing, and of course pretty much gets rid of their stands. It looks like he has the ability to suck away people's stands. So if say he beat Jotaro in this, he would lose Star Platinum, it looks like, or Rohan would lose Heaven's Door. That's at least what I'm assuming is going on how a stand works. And so he's like, alright, let's play again. He's like, hey, hold on, man, I'm not ready to play Rochambeau. And then we get some psychological warfare going on where he's like, what should I use? Should I use paper again? That is pretty lucky. But no, that would be too obvious for you to do it because of what has happened. So then they legit both jump in the air like this is Dragon Ball Z, and they're like, Rochambeau. First of all, how the hell they even jump so high? No, wait, yeah. They play it. Kira loses. Rohan loses again. He uses rock again and loses to paper. I'm assuming. Yeah, and then he says, "Oh, I'm the luckiest person." No. So they do that, and then we see Joseph and Josuke show up, and the dude's like, hey, he's like, and Josuke is like, oh, I really don't like that guy. Why don't we just keep waving and walk away? Yeah, okay. And so then they leave, and so then they leave because he's like, it must be one of his adored fans, and so they leave. Take their leave, and then this dude goes like, "Oh, I'm the luckiest person alive. I feel like I could play a game of Russian roulette with 5 bullets out of the 6 of the chamber, and still leave, and still survive to tell the tale. Not even a shower of glass to hurt me." So then he grabs his pedal, throws it at this window, extends his arm out and then just watches as the glass falls from it, and none of them hit him, but for some reason Rohan, who was behind him, like a good couple inches, maybe even a foot, has like one piece of glass stuck in his hand. I don't even know how it even gets there, man. I'm mystified at how that's even possible. So, oh man. So they're like, okay, let us go back into our Rochambeau poses for the next match. He's like, oh, should I use Rock again? But that's pretty my unlucky number. We'll have to see. And so, oh man, this part of the episode just had me dying with how ridiculous it was, but this is JoJo after all. So then they jump in the air again, do Rochambeau again, they're allowed to go attack, and then for some reason he's like, what the? And then he gets down to the ground, starts charging towards him, moves his arm in like a downward circular motion, and then he's like, what the? My arm hasn't done this before. And then he has Rock, and the other dude has Rock, meaning it's a draw, and he's like, what the? Even after all that, he still used. And he's like, he's like, whoa, looks like Rock isn't my unlucky number anymore. And so then they go at it again, and this time, Rohan wins this one, I believe with scissors, I believe it was scissors. And when they talk about the different type, whatever ones they're going to use, like, oh, should I use paper, should I use rock, they legit say, should I use paper, they don't use its Japanese equivalent. So, I don't know why they just call the whole thing rock, paper, scissors, why they call it Rochambeau, but they're still going to call it rock, paper, or scissors, whichever one they're going to use, but whatever, I'm sure it has something to do with the mouth flaps or something, I don't know, or just, maybe just so, hey, adaptation, I don't know, but whatever the case may be, why that is, so, so then they go again, he wins with, Rohan wins this time, and he's like, whoa, and they get back part of his stand, and so he's like, oh, and before they get in their last match, Rohan tells them about how to win. Let's actually know they're hard to defeat your enemy, but what is hard, and pay attention how the most difficult part is defeating oneself. And that's what he does, because we find out how Rohan managed to win was because he used the baby, the invisible baby. You can see it written in her pages, saying that I will rescue Rohan Kashibe, and I will go invisible and turn the kid's hand into rock, I think it was, or it was like either rock or paper. It was rock or paper, one of those two. Yeah, I think Rohan actually used paper instead, and he lost to, and he beat him with rock. I don't know, I forget the exact winnings how they won it, but Rohan wins, that's all that matters. And he's holding the baby. The dude the man is pissed off by this. He's like, damn it, how could I lose? And so he legit just grabs the baby and holds it up. And Rohan's like, bro, you don't know what you've done. He's like, you gonna get these hands. He's like, and so he's like, you idiot, do you even know what you're doing now? Play another game of Rochambeau or the baby gets it. I will surrender the baby. Fine. I'll humor you. So then they both jump into the air again, and they jump pretty high. You thought they were Superman with how far they were jumping. They go past the building, and they just keep going up and up and up and up. And I'm like, what are y'all all secretly Kryptonians? I mean, they're statues, so I don't know if that means that they have super jumping abilities, but whatever. They jump, they play a bunch of games, and Rohan wins them all. He loses them all. He's like, damn it, why can't I win? And so he falls on the ground on his back. How that doesn't destroy his spine, I don't know. Rohan lands on his feet. For some reason, it doesn't break his knees or his legs, but this is anime, so whatever. So he's like, I'm going to write in your page that I will forever lose to Rochambeau for as long as I live, and that I will be the end of your stand. It's like, no, I will not let you. That is a fate worse than death. I will not let you ride on me. I'd rather die in front of this moving car. So then he literally jumps over this railing, jumps right in front of this truck that's moving, that's driving, and it's like, and then it turns into like, it goes almost Fooly Cooly for a bit, but it doesn't go full-fledged Fooly Cooly with the manga thing, but we just kind of get a couple manga panels, where it's like, oh man, you've done it now, kid. Right, people that love the comic book dramatics really know the pull on the old heartstrings. So then he jumps right in front of the car, jumps in there, he's like, what the, you'll die too. Oh really? And then we go to Kirita, it's like, what the, where'd this gust of wind appear from? He gets in front of the car, the driver's like, oh shit, screw it, and then he just swerves over to the right, and then moves back to the normal, and he's like, what the, you saved me. He's like, and then Kira's dad's like, oh, that was just my luck. And it's like, you know what, kid? You're something else. I will not write on your pages. And then Josuke and Joseph show up. They're like, excuse me, Rohan, have you seen the baby? Oh no, what if it went fully invisible again? And they're like, oh crap, the baby. And so then they start looking around for the baby, and that's where the episode ends. So overall, I love this week's episode. I love whenever Rohan gets a whole episode to himself, man. You guys know Rohan's like my second favorite character. Well, actually, you know what? Third favorite character in Diamond Umbrella. I would go Kira, Koichi, and then Rohan would be my top 3. So anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like. First, let me give you my final verdict, then I'll end the video. So overall, I'll give this week's episode a 10 out of 10, guys. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, affiliate links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.